BORTLE here, back from the LCS 14 event of the online format. We have here the finalist, second place. Please introduce yourself to the world, man.
My name is Matteo. My DB name is Gamat, and I got second at the LCS. Almost won. So close, but next time.
There you go, next time. So, what made you decide to play Dragon Links, man?
I practiced Dragon Link and Drytron, and the problem with Drytron was you can't consistently draw your enough side deck cards, and then also like combo going second. And Dragon Link is just a lot better. Also doesn't hard lose to draw sometimes. And it's just really consistent, and you have like a lot of space for staples and hand traps and whatnot.
Okay, and it's no surprise that Dragon Link was the most representative deck in the LCS event.
Yeah, that was to be expected.
So, what happened in the finals? How'd you lose?
In game one, I go first. I kind of misplay game one, but I still win. Like, Seal Tiding is an FTK against Tri-Brigade Zoo. And game two, I had all the answers. Like, I had the Duster for the back row, I had Lightning Storm for his Trident, but one Ash on my quick launch just ended my turn, so that was that. And then game three, he rolled me again, which is like not the worst. And then he impermed my LP, so I ended on Appaloosa LP. But he just had the 6-card combo of like Desires throwing into Callby for the Seal, Pancratop, Tri-Brigade stuff. So I just lost. But it's fine.
Oh,
It
yes,
happens.
you made it to the finals, still got a hefty payout, so it's pretty cool for the online format. Before we start the actual deck profile, would you like to do some shoutouts?
Sure. I want to give a shout out to Team 100%. Um, Three of us got top 16, and funnily enough, I played both of them in Swiss,
Oh, man.
and so that was kind of unlucky. But uh, yeah, I got second, then Dennis got top 4, and then Dimitri got top 16. So they also did a good job. But that's it.
Nice. Well, without further ado, please take it away with the rest of your deck profile.
Okay, so I'm not gonna go too in depth because Dragon Link is kind of soft, you could say. I am gonna talk about the 9 staple slots, and also I should say, if you watch the LCS 12 first place deck profile on Bortle's channel, then this might look kind of familiar to you. This is just very much copied from Deadly B7. Uh, I didn't even bother to rearrange the deck, so um, but yeah, then the 9 staples are 3 Gamma, 3 Ash, and 3 Talents. Gamma won me a lot of games, especially when I'm going second, and it made some hands playable because of Chaos Ruler, where they hand trap me. I'm like, oh god, yes. Let's just make Chaos Ruler and keep going. I did brick on it going first, like I drew double Gamma and almost lost because of it, but it's still pretty good. And it's also a light, which you lack lights. Like the only other light in the main is Seyfried. And then 3 Ash is just very not standard, but I've seen people play like Imprim in place of this. But Ash is just generic, and it was good against like Nadir Servant or anything. So I think that's like the better hand trap to main deck. Against Zoo decks, you do side it out though. And then Talents was also pretty good, especially going first when you can look at their hand and you just can't really lose after that. And then obviously going second, breaking boards, it's also pretty good. I do side it out a lot going second though. The next kind of interesting thing is that I played 3 black metal, only 2 Seyfried and 1 chamber. Black metal is a lot better into draw because it makes sure you get the boot sector and you have a link 2. So at the very least, you're gonna get seal. So that was pretty important. Yeah, and then you just don't need the 3 Seyfried anymore because you have too many normal summons already. Yeah, that's it for normal summons. The 1 chamber and 2 tiding has become standard, I would say. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of other people had the same ratio there. But other than that, the main deck is just pretty standard. I don't know, like, is there anything else? you have questions about.
Well, you pretty much explained it yourself. I can't believe like quick launch is still three of, and Dragon Link they just keep dodging the ban list, right?
Yeah.
You got the perfect 40. Great explanation on your hand trap ratio. Gamma is just it's just a win button, I guess in most cases. As far as your extra deck goes, it looks pretty much the same bet right there, standard as well. Was there anything you would change? Did you consider running like B cop or anything else?
Yeah, that's like the one interesting thing. You could play Beat Cop to not lose to Contact C ever. Also, Beat Cop is like good if they give you like the Bureau token, Lost World token, you know, that kind of stuff. But ultimately, like the extra deck is like I would say all of those cards are mandatory. The card that came up the least for me was Quad Ball, and even then, like in some situations, you just need it to make Savage or whatever. So, and it's not like I didn't get Contact Seed anyway, so yeah, that was just fine. Extra deck is um, pretty standard like that, and I would keep it like that as well.
As far as your side deck goes, it looks like you already touched on a very special and cool new card that people are starting to side now for like Tri Brigade, etc., etc. Would you like to run down your side deck?
Contact Z is like the only kind of new thing. Some people were playing it in the last LCS already in the 3v3, and it proved to be pretty good against Zoo variants. Against Tri Brigade, it's pretty good because after they use the Tri Brigade effect to banish, then they can only use Beast Warriors, Beasts, and Winged Beasts as link material, so they can't link this off ever. And then obviously against Zoo is great. And then it's also good against prank kids. I don't set it in against Dragon Link or anything like that, just because like there's a chance that my opponent does play the beat cop, and I just went -1 for no reason. Yeah, I saw Contact C once, and it uh, didn't really work out. That was against prank kid. I had Contact C and Ash, and he still was able to make Butler, so that was kind of wasted. But then more hand traps in the side deck, 3 Nibiru, 3 Draw, and 3 Imperm. You need a lot of hand traps for the mirror match, and then also Drytron is scary, even though I didn't play any. But you just don't want to get full comboed, so all of those like 9 hand traps were great, and I didn't lose a single mirror match. And then the last 3 cards on the side are Reboot, Duster, and Storm. Maybe in hindsight, Reboot was not the best idea. I thought it would be good for stopping Schism and whatnot, but it was kind of weird sometimes. Like the pure Zoo decks, they set a lot of back row. Like it depends on the hand, obviously, but sometimes they just set Chalice, Imperm, Book of Moon, Cosmic, and like Reboot doesn't cover all of those. But yeah, that's just a one-off. But those 3 back row removal cards on the side were great as well. You know, back row matchups aren't like completely free. You can still very easily win to a back row deck, especially because most back row decks are built to beat Dragon Link or the meta decks. But that's pretty much it for the side.
Did you expect any to face any like back row decks, or you're just pretty much expecting combo because you only had the kind of 3 options right there? I've noticed there's no like quick play answers to the back row hate like such as anti spell and stuff.
I didn't really expect any back row deck. Like if you think about it, what back row deck is really good and played right now? I couldn't really like the Tri Brigade decks aren't really back row decks anymore. They play a lot of hand traps since they don't need to play a trap trick anymore because they can just search the revolt every time. So like maybe you play against like Altergeist, Eldritch, but that's pretty unlikely. So like only playing 3 back row removal is fine. And like I did side in Storm and Duster and Imperm versus the Tri Brigade decks. Well, the one Tri Brigade deck I played only in the finals against that deck.
Oh man, it looked like you were well equipped for it, but he just had all the answers right.
Yeah, it happens.
Yikes. Well, anywho, congrats on getting to the finals, man. Second place is still great, and thank you again for being on the channel.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And listeners, if you're not a part of BORTLE Nation, suffer BORTLE. Is that easy and it's free? Oh God, yes. BORTLE out.